Welcome back. Second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Appreciate you tuning into the show as always. Every Saturday and Sunday, answering our community's questions. Hopefully you've been a long-time listener, but if not, every weekend we get 5 questions each day from our community. Everybody can just write in at stephencabral.com/askcabral, and we will answer your question unedited in the order that they come in. All right, let's dive right into this week's second set of questions. I'm going to click on the tab that my team does such a great job putting these together. And it looks like this is episode 3747. So if you want to follow along with the questions, head on over to stephencabral.com/3747. And this is questions starting on April 3rd. And I know that this show won't debut until what looks like May 9th. So we are just about 6 weeks or so behind your questions. That's pretty normal, 5 to 6 weeks. All right, so if you wrote in before that, questions already been answered, and you can find it at stephencabral.com/podcast. First question's from Maria. Maria says, hello, I have terrible joint pain in my hands. Some days are worse than others. I'm a 50-year-old female and was wondering if you can suggest a supplement and maybe foods to stay away from. Okay, so this could be regular arthritis, especially if you've used your hands for manual labor a lot, during your life, or it could be the start to rheumatoid arthritis. Most likely one of those, but maybe not. It could literally be inflammation from high levels of omega-6s or food sensitivities. So in an ideal world, you'll run your standard blood work, you'll look for RA factor, you'll look for ANA, but you can run the big 5, which will look for inflammation levels, food sensitivities, gut health, heavy metals, all sorts of things. So that's at stephencabral.com/big5. If you don't want to run labs and you just want to say, hey, why don't I reduce the inflammation in my body? I'll help you with that right now. So everybody should always be using daily nutritional support, vitamin D3, and daily omega-3 support, 2 grams a day, so 2 capsules a day. The only reason you wouldn't use daily omega-3 support is if you're on blood thinners. Again, I can't give you medical advice, medical treatments, medical cures, medical diagnosis, but those are the top 3 products in the world. You can choose whatever company you want, but that gives you what you need in order to literally reduce your rate of aging and improve hundreds of biomarkers in your body. So that's table stakes. That's very simple. That's $5 a day. It seems like a lot, but it gives you everything, literally everything. It's not even $5 a day. It's less than that, but it gives you everything. And it's basically a coffee, when you're out. So that is my recommendation. Now, besides that, omega-3s will help with the inflammation. There's 2 other products. One is called InflamaSoothe. You would do 3 capsules at lunch if you'd like, or 3 capsules at breakfast, however you want to do it. That's InflamaSoothe. It contains ginger. It's going to contain turmeric, purple, sweet potato extract, all sorts of things that decrease inflammation. So InflamaSoothe, right? Inflammation soothing. That's why it's called InflamaSoothe. And the other one is proteolytic enzymes, 2 upon waking. Then that's what I would start with. So that's 5 nutritional supplements. That's not crazy, I don't think. And that's where I would be. Now, of course, I would lab test first, but if you're not a lab test kind of person, no problem. That's where I would start. All right. Bia is up next. Bia says, hi, Doc. Thanks so much for everything you do. Thank you, Bia. I've been wondering about the dosage on the back of supplement labels. I'm 5'3", 115-pound woman. Do you take the recommended amount on the back or less? For example, I take proteolytic enzymes. Should I take 2 as instructed on the back or just 1? Thank you. Okay. All adults I have take the normal serving on the back. If you weigh less than 100 pounds or more than like 225, 250 pounds, you might need a little bit more. But really, it is built for all adults. And the way that you know if you need to go down or up is using the product. Then, if you're working on something such as inflammation in the body, the proteolytic enzymes, plaque in the heart, the arteries of the heart, then you would say, okay, do I need more or less? But your arteries, even though you're only 115 pounds, your arteries are still adult arteries that are not wildly different from someone 50 pounds larger than you, right? So it's like, it's a great question, by the way. It is a great question because we do dose for children based on a 150-pound adult. So I know where the question's coming from. I totally get it. I always recommend for adults the serving on the back of the bottle. And if you're working with a practitioner and they say, hey, you're 250 pounds, we really need to be doing a little bit more. Yeah, that's fair. That's warranted. So that's what I would do. Now, again, I can't give you medical advice, medical treatments, medical cures, medical diagnosis, but I would use the two. All right, Skip is up next. Hello, Dr. C. Thanks for all you do. I keep hearing this tick season is going to be really bad. I know you generally say to strengthen the immune system with Lyme. I'm wondering what specifics you have for preventing repelling ticks with humans and dogs. And for someone who has Lyme, how can they get to the root cause in addition to supporting the immune system? Okay, so I have a whole Lyme protocol. Just go to stephencabral.com/podcast. In the search box, type in Lyme tick protocol. You'll find it. If you don't find it, just write in at cabralsupportgroup.com. We'll find it for you. If you ever can't find a podcast out of the 3,747 shows, we will find it for you. Just write in at cabralsupportgroup.com. Okay, so I have a Lyme tick protocol that I won't go over today because you can just search it. This is what I do. So you know that I spend my summers in Maine. Very fortunate, very grateful. It is amazing, right? It's amazing. Now, you need to like peace and quiet and not much going on except beauty, right? Like that's like the ocean. You have to like the ocean. You need to like rocks, like because Maine is like, I don't think it's the granite state, is it? I don't know. It should be the granite state. It's literally ledge for the entire coastline. I think Maine has more islands in the United States than anywhere else. Than anywhere in the United States. That might be a fabrication of the truth, but it's pretty close. Maine's coastline is literally goes all the way up, even past most of I shouldn't say most, a lot of Canada before I believe it gets to like St. John's, Newfoundland, all the way up to Nova Scotia. So it goes way up. Like you can drive 5 hours into Maine, 6 hours into Maine, and only be at Bar Harbor, Maine. And there you can drive another 5 or 6 hours. It's actually pretty amazing. I don't know why I just started talking about Maine, but I love Maine. I've always gone to Maine, even when it was just a summer cottage with literally nails coming out of the walls. We'd have boarded up every Columbus Day or, whatever, every October. I know. Okay. I'm going to stop reminiscing for a moment and get back to your question. Why am I saying this? Because there's tons of ticks in Maine, right? Tons of ticks in Maine. So what do? I run trails in the woods, and there's a lot of ticks. So I pull socks all the way up to my knees. Literally, I get high socks all the way up to my knees because I don't want any ticks jumping on me, right? So I always make sure I am covered. And then arm-wise and any skin that's showing, I use a tick repellent, and we put it on my dog because my dog always gets ticks. And then he brings them in the house, and then of course they can crawl around and they can get on us. So these deer ticks are very dangerous because they can lead to Lyme disease. And obviously Lyme disease, not obvious, but it started in Lyme, Connecticut. And it is, I don't think this is conspiracy anymore. It is a man-made disease created in a lab outside of Lyme, Connecticut. So this is a dangerous thing. All right, so what do I use? What do I know works to repel ticks? Because I don't like it. Cedarwood, lemongrass, geranium, rosemary, and lemon eucalyptus. Okay, so I look for a formula, and I always have my favorites at stephencabral.com/resources that contain those. And for my dog specifically, we put a drop on his neck and a drop right above his tail of rose geranium oil. All right, so that's exactly what we do. I spray myself down with natural, it's all natural tick repellent, and same stuff I used in India on my internships and Sri Lanka to make sure that I didn't get malaria because there's a lot of mosquitoes there as well. All right, hopefully that was helpful. So there we have it. Carla is up next, right? Carla's up next? Yes. Carla says, hi, Dr. Ball. I want to first thank you for sharing all of your thoughts and research with us. It's truly been invaluable to me and my family. Thank you, Carla. I wanted to ask about a recent supplement I heard about on my local radio. It's called Astaxanthin. They claimed it would help with skin, vision, energy, and many other things. I searched a previous podcast and didn't see anything about it. So I was hoping you could comment on whether it's worth adding to my current regimen. Thanks in advance. Okay, so I have talked about it before. And again, if you ever can't find it, most likely I've talked about the topic. So just ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. It's literally 38,000 people, no advertising, no marketing. It's a grassroots movement of people asking questions and getting support and supporting each other. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. We started that way back in the day in like 2017. And it's just, again, grassroots, private Facebook group, ask whatever you want, all private. Okay, so let's dive into it. Astaxanthin is fantastic. It really is. Great product. It is I take it in the daily vision and eye support. I started taking that product about a year and a half ago to 2 years ago. And the reason is that was when I was writing my book, a lot of hours researching and writing on a computer. And the eye strain was unbelievable. It was like the only time I really felt it in my life, and it was terrible. I started wearing blue light blocking glasses. You probably saw me a year ago, always wearing blue light blocking glasses. It was bad. It really was. And I did my best to look away, but I was like, I'm writing a book, and so I was staring at a screen. So I take daily vision and eye support. That is at stephencabral.com/shop. That has astaxanthin in it. It also has lutein and zeaxanthin. Literally, those are the three best for your eyes. Okay, I've done a whole show on eyes before. So what about taking a higher dose? Yes, you can actually take 12 milligrams of astaxanthin if you just want the astaxanthin. And the astaxanthin is great for your skin. Here, let me put it this way. It's a very powerful antioxidant. It's what gives shrimp and salmon that pinkish color, right? That bright orange or pink color. That's astaxanthin. And so it usually comes in a soft gel. And some people digest it fine, some not as much, because it has to be put in with a base oil. So usually the base oil, it might be olive oil, it could be coconut oil. So just be careful with the base oil isn't like something nasty that you don't want in your body. But you can take 12 milligrams a day. And a lot of people do to help with overall inflammation and eye, skin, all of the rest. I haven't seen dramatic things for energy, which you wrote down. Skin, people used to say, just take astaxanthin, you won't get a sunburn. That is not true. So don't test that. And yeah, but a great product overall. Great product. All right, Luis is up next. Luis says, hi, Dr. Cabral. I've been attempting to do the CBO protocol for my gut health for about 3 weeks now, but have had to pause multiple times because I experience intense die-off. The most troubling one is restless leg syndrome. I believe it's related to inflammation caused by the die-off. Yeah, that's possible, Luis. It's so severe that I can only do half the dose a day, and I still get pretty bad restless leg syndrome. Do you have any suggestions on how to make it through the protocol with this problem? Would asking for temporary restless leg syndrome medication be a bad idea? Is there anything natural I can take? I've tried mega IgG to bind the LPS and now high-dose curcumin to help the inflammation levels, but I don't know what else to do. Thank you for your time and input. Okay, happy to help with this. So, I don't think that mega IgG is going to help bind up the lipopolysaccharides. It is additional immunoglobulin G put into your body, but I don't think that that's going to be the thing that you really need. It does increase the amount of IgG, which is good. There's no doubt about that. I think what would help more is the universal binder. So you would take that too upon waking, even before your other supplements on the CBO protocol, to bind up what is being moved through the intestines. That should help to a greater degree. And then maybe even before bed, or maybe you do your binder before bed, using the proteolytic enzyme to clean up the blood from some of that inflammation. And in terms of curcumin, I would use the Inflammasoothe, which has ginger and much more that can help with the inflammation. So that's the first part. Now, CBO protocol, here's what I would do. You're saying you can go into half. The nice thing about the CBO protocol is this. You have 3 products per month, and only 3 products per month. One is a biofilm disruptor. The second one is an herbal product to kill and remove the yeast overgrowth of the bacteria. But if there is a lot, totally understand, you have to start with less. And then there's the Saccharomyces boulardii. Most likely, you're not having a reaction to the Saccharomyces boulardii in month 1. Okay, so what I would say is this. We start with just and by the way, we have instructions on this. So you can just write in at cabralsupportgroup.com and they'll also help you with what's called a titration protocol. So we would just start with week 1 with the biofilm disruptor. You'll take 1 enzyme, about 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes before breakfast. And you'll say, how do I feel after 3 days? Fine, great. You'll go up to the full dosage too. Okay. Then the next week you'll do now again, it won't perfectly line up, but it's okay. It's okay that not everything lines up. And then next up, we will do your first month's antimicrobial, your herbal. Then, remember, it's 4 capsules a day. So you'll literally just start with 1 capsule. Not 2, but just 1. And you're already continuing with your biofilm. Great. How do you feel there? Pretty good. Amazing. Then we'll go to 2 after 3 days. So you wait every 3 days. And then you might only be able to be at 2 and like, oh, I'm starting to feel a little something. Okay. Let's stop there with the antimicrobial and let's add in the Saccharomyces boulardii. which will kind of take the place of some of this bacteria and yeast being killed off. All right, one other piece to this, because you're taking the universal binder, you're taking the Inflammasooth. One other piece to this, make sure you're taking your omega-3s, is you might want to start. We usually wait until after the CBO protocol is done. You might want to start with the healthy gut support with your DNS shake or whatever smoothie you're doing. And the reason is the healthy gut support will start to seal up your gut wall and calm the inflammation in the gut even before the protocol is done while you're doing it. You'll just want to continue on after you're done with the protocol for a little bit. So those are all my quick tips for you. We've had tens of thousands of people do the CBO protocol all around the world, and practitioners use it. Over, I think it's like almost 5,000 practitioners use it. So yeah, we'll help you through this. Just ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. Really, any questions you have, we can always help there as well. Or if you're working with an IHP, ask your IHP. They know all about this, so they'll be able to help. All right, everybody. And again, if you want to find an IHP for yourself as well, just go to integrativehealthpractitioner.org/practitioners, or just click on the practitioner tab, and you'll be able to find one in your locale all over the world. And if you want to become an integrative health practitioner yourself, learn how to heal yourself, heal others, amazing. It's an amazing career. Head on over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org or just ihp.coach for short. Learn more about the program. All right. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the weekend if you're tuning in as the show goes live on the weekend. And I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Mindset and Motivation Minute.